Terry and the detective go along a filthy city street, walking, people going by wearing a glazed, dazed, totally spaced out look.
Things have gotten bad here, I can tell you. These people are in bad shape.
In a pastry shop across the street, two shop owners stand behind the counter. A man stands in the middle of the square store and looks at the pastries.
Well, I guess I'll get some of them.
The clerk is about to get the pastry for the man.
No, I changed my mind. I'll take some of those.
The clerk moves to the new pastry.
No, actually, I'll get some of them.
The clerk moves again. The man looks up at the ceiling.
How much do you want for the light up there?
Exterior, street deep in the city on a dark, cloudy day. Terry and the detective continue walking toward the diner. The detective stops to look at a man balancing on one hand and one foot.
Hey, let's go in the diner. Get something to eat. Hey!
Sees the detective looking at the man balancing.
That's the guy I was telling you about.
Goes to the man balancing. He, referring to the detective,
can stand on one foot.
At this, the man, incapable of receiving such shattering information, cries out in agony.
Come on!
They enter the diner and sit at the counter. The place is fairly full, mostly vacant eyes, low-class people eating dull-looking food. The counter has now become crowded as more people come into the diner. It is steamy and hot inside. The grill is sizzling. The coffee machine is steaming. The man next to the detective on his left is having a large bowl of soup. Terry to the waitress.
Give me some bacon and eggs, will ya, and a cup of coffee.
Turning to the detective, smiles slyly.
Do you know the symbolic meaning of an egg?
Terry. He frowns at Terry, but the waitress is waiting. Cheese sandwich and a cup of coffee, please. Coffees are brought immediately. As he drinks his coffee, the detective watches the people eating. He watches the food being prepared. Everything here, at least, seems to be fairly normal. Terry's bacon and eggs arrive and he begins eating hungrily. The knitters have followed the detective and Terry to the diner. They and some of their friends stand around outside talking about the detective.
If only I was younger. Oh, and he can stand on one foot.
Inside the diner, the detective watches the man to his left slurping his hot soup. Now the detective's sandwich is being prepared. He sees the cheese being placed on the white bread and mayonnaise being spread on top of the piece of bread. The sandwich is put together and sliced in half with a big kitchen knife. On a plate it goes, and the waitress sets it down in front of the detective. He picks up one half and takes a big bite. He chews.
How's the sandwich?
Pretty good.
Yeah, you like that cheese, huh?
Yeah.
Cheese is made from milk.
Outside on the street, suddenly people are running and acting crazy, slobbering, unable to stand, spinning, falling, walking into posts or walls. Dogs whimper and press themselves against the pavement. The knitters begin to walk backwards. A massive black truck with an enormous antenna is rounding the corner. The antenna issues forth tremendous electrical sparks, and there is a loud humming and buzzing in the air. People are getting very confused. Inside the diner. Hold on, buddy. Here comes the truck I was telling you. The electricity gets very loud. Suddenly the diner goes crazy. The man to the left of the detective immediately puts his elbows in his soup. The detective is suddenly off his stool with his chin pressed into the center of his cheese sandwich on the counter. Terry's hand wants to go down Terry's throat. Terry's teeth want to bite his hand. The waitress must be standing on her head because only her legs and feet rise above the counter. Each person in the diner is having his own personal seizure, from bloody noses to head pounding to tongue swallowing. The detective's eyes are rolling and his chin is flattening his cheese sandwich to the thickness of fine paper. The door to the diner flies open and in comes a large fat man with a wild smiling face. His eyes bug out with each smile. In his arms he holds a box of powdered sugar donuts. In his hand is a nice donut, which he eats all at once. As he chews, he happens to surveys the pandemonium. Behind him, a large gang of black-coated men pour crazy into the diner. They begin zapping people with electricity. The donut man goes over to the detective and leans down. Looking him in the eyes, the detective tries to focus on the donut man. The donut man holds up a donut right in front of the detective's face. Life is a donut. The donut man laughs uproariously. Outside in the streets, there are fires burning and electrical sparks in the air. Men, women, and children and animals are all running wild. Some are on fire. Inside the diner, a black-coated man waits to a pile of bodies and stands in front of the man eating the soup. The black coat zaps the soup man, and the soup man's arm flies back, hitting the detective in the eye. Oh! The black coat moves quickly to zap some more people. The detective's eye is watering and puffing up, but he sees a strange sight across the diner. Someone yells at the donut man, but the donut man's shoes are untied. The donut man does not have a normal reaction to this. He screams bloody murder and runs wildly out of the diner. Just then a black coat turns and zaps the detective right in the head with an electrical cattle prod. The detective flips off his chair and lands next to Terry on the floor. The black coats leave as quickly as they arrived.
Did you see how dark it got? Do you understand? Light and dark! Light and dark!
Terry! Struggling to sit up. I almost bought it. I almost lost consciousness.
Yeah, a lot did here. Look!
They look around and see many dead people around the diner. When that guy hit me, it hit me so much. It made me unable to concentrate. When I got zapped, I would have checked out. When that guy's arm hit me, it hurt so much. It made me able to concentrate otherwise. When I got zapped, I would have checked out. Hey, wait a minute. Same's with me. Only it was my sore that was killing me. You're a pretty smart fella. This sore hurt like hell all the time. Do you think it's helping me? By God. Yeah, Terry. We gotta make some rigs to keep us in pain, you know? Not always, but just when we need it. You understand? Yeah, that's a hell of an idea. Interior, hotel room, daytime. Terry has found several things and he's showing them to the detective.
Look at these pin cushions. I got them from the knitters upstairs. Stick the pins all the way through. Yeah, now stick it under your collar on the side or back of your neck.
Terry places the wad of pins inside the detective's collar against his neck.
Ow, that hurts. Man, is that painful.
Tears from his eyes from the pain.
I'll get us some knitting needles too.
Exterior, street, deep in the city, at dusk. Terry and the detective are cautiously walking down a sidewalk.
Now we're getting back in there. Don't look now, but that's Ronald's parents' house.
It is?
Yeah, we gotta start here. A lot of things begin to go wrong at home with the parents, if you understand what I'm talking about.
Yes, but this is all memories?
You'd play hell to tell the difference.
Bill, the other man on the train with Terry, is seen walking toward them on the other side of the street. Terry pulls the detective with him behind a tree.
It's Bill. Go ahead into Ronald's parents' house. Get going. Bill would kill me if he saw me go in there. Go quick before he sees us. I'll find you. Don't worry. Hurry. Don't leave the house.
The detective hurries up the sidewalk to Ronald's parents' house and rings the doorbell. He looks around. Bill has seen him. Bill stands across the street, grinning an evil grin at the detective. The door is answered. Hello. I've come to speak to you about... Are you the parents of Ronald DeArte? Yes. I've come to speak to you about Ronald. Are you available right now for speaking? The father is whittling a piece of wood.
Come on in. We changed the house. Did you know it before?
No.
It now is the way it is. Sit down.
You haven't been in touch with Ronald for quite some time, I understand?
We've been here all along.
Yes, but there's been no correspondence?
No, he couldn't seem to stay out of trouble. It became very difficult for us, his parents, and family who loved him so much.
I think he's in a great deal of trouble right now.
He always was. A great deal of trouble.
I'm sure you do have fond memories with him?
Oh, yes.
How does he remember me, like this? The father makes a strange smiling face.
And me like this?
She makes the same strange smiling face. They laugh together.
I'm sure he's in trouble. We haven't heard from him in ages. I'm sorry. Did we offer you some coffee?
Suddenly, the detective sees some electrical sparks shoot out of a socket. It is instantly later, and coffee is being poured.
Some sweets?
Thank you, as the detective takes some chocolates.
So, are you a detective?
Yes, I am. Suddenly, the father has frozen with paralyzed nerves and fallen headfirst into the rug. He remains with his bottom up in the air, still resting on the chair, while his forehead carries the weight of his body pressed against the rug, paralyzed.
Oh, he's gone off again. Give me a hand, would you?
Surely.
Daddy, it's alright, it's alright.
Yes, my God, gone off again.
Yes, you did, Daddy. It's the excitement. Take a drink of your coffee. Let me pat your forehead. Is that any better? Let me rub your neck. There and there. Is that better? Do you like that?
The father, extremely irritated with the mother.
Okay, that's enough. I'm sorry.
The father, trying to stop the inevitable fight.
No, thank you. It's much better now. Oh, so I did do something good, huh? Did I?
Yes, sure you did.
Yes. I saw how much you enjoyed it.
Now in comes the daughter, Celia.
Who's this? This is a detective, dear. I suppose looking into Ronald's life. What led him to ruin such a sweet lad. You can just come into homes and lives and all like that?
Yes, I guess so.
I've lost my job, says the father to the detective. He hasn't been able to discuss it with anyone yet.
The father, very angry.
No, I haven't. I'm speaking to him. I just meant it's nice that you can talk about it now, dear, isn't it? Everything's gone to hell. You like music?
Some music.
You want to listen to records? I have a record player in my room.
What's wrong with the Victrola right here, young lady?
Oh, let her show him her room. It's nice to have someone drop by, isn't it, sweet?
What the hell's wrong with this Victrola right here?
Come up. They don't like my records anyways.
She takes the detective to the stairs and starts up. The father follows and grabs the detective by the wrist.
To her room, huh? For records? Give it a rest. Dad!
Just what in the hell is wrong with that Victrola right there?
He's coming up to my room to listen to records. Honey, let them go. I think it's nice. See, Dad?
The father, under his breath again.
I see.
Closer to the detective's ear. What did you walk into, huh? He squeezes the detective's wrist really hard. Now he speaks loudly.
Why don't you just get the hell out? Mom, I want to talk to you about something.
Okay, go on up. Listen to that puke. That's what it is, too. All of it. It's all junk now. Just ruined forever.
You call that music? It's pitiful.
The sister brings the detective into her room and shuts the door. She goes to the phonograph and starts a swing record. Organ playing, very faint, very scratchy. She starts to sway. With the music, her head, her shoulders, she looks to the detective. He is swinging too. She stands up and bares her breast to the detective.
They hurt, so touch them easy.
The father is mounting the stairs. He comes down the hall and listens at his daughter's door. Inside, the detective is kissing Celia, who has now removed her blouse. The father yelling through the door,
"You call that music?" "Oh, shut up!"
She scratches the needle across the record. The music stops.
"Just shut up!" "Ronnie used to sing. He really did. He knew a damn good song. Come out and Mother and I will sing it to you."
Celia is reaching for and opening a jar of medicated salve or ointment. She opens the jar and indicates the detective to get some ointment and rub it on her breasts. The lid makes some noise as she turns it to close the jar. The father hears it, now screaming,
"Is that your ointment? Is it? Stop it! Stop it! Is it? I heard it!" I'll sing a song."
As her breasts are being rubbed and her eyes closed in ecstasy, she sings a beautiful love song. Very pure, very beautiful.
"Stop it! You're not going to sing his song in there with him!"
The mother climbs the stairs.
"Is that Ronald's song I hear? Is it?" "Yes!"
He begins pounding violently on the door frantically.
"Come out of there! Come out of there! I mean it! I'll call the police! I'm going to get them now! They'll be here any minute!"
The father rushes downstairs, past the mother who stands confused. He won't call them. He's all talk. Come closer to me. Touch me. As he does it, don't do it that way. He changes the way. Okay, that's better. I have to move a little because I can't stand still like you do. She starts swaying quite quickly back and forth. Can't you kiss me? Yes, there. Wait, don't push in like that though. The detective tries once more to kiss Celia, but she stops him again. Can I lean a little bit? I have an earache and I can't put my head back like that. It hurts all my waist so I can lean over. Okay. The detective is now holding her up as she is leaning way over to her right, her long hair almost touching the floor. Let me lean over more. Now you can feel me. Don't let go with that hand. Use the other. He stands feeling her breast with his right hand, while he holds her up with his left. A little bit less. They hurt. I told you that. I have to move my feet. Move your feet, okay, son? Okay, yeah. There are noises of steps outside the door. Several people. Do you like police? The detective turns frantically to look at the door. No, not so much right now. Is there another way out of here? As she stands up. Go upstairs through the door. Ask the nurse to let you out the back. The nurse? My grandfather's up there. He's real sick. Hurry up. There's loud banging on the door. Open up. I have the police. Come on, Dad. We're not doing anything. She hurries the detective up back the stairs. As he climbs the stairs, he can still hear the father yelling and Celia yelling back.
"Send them away or I'll tell them what you do to me. I swear I will."
The detective enters a small room. A nurse stands next to a bed where an old man lies. The nurse turns and studies the detective. She said you'd let me out the back door. You'll have to get a saw and some lumber and make one then, because there sure isn't a back door up there. The detective looking around frantically. Oh, yeah? The old man in the corner of the room.
"I'm awfully sick. Did you know that? And then guess what?
What's that?
Someone must have snuck in here last night and glued my arms to the bed. The bastards can't move them now. Stuck down."
The nurse whispering to the detective.
"He's paralyzed. What about it? He won't care. And what can he do if he does? Do you want to kiss me? Real hot?"
I gotta get out of this house.
"Look at this."
She shows the detective one of her breasts. But I really have to go, really. All right, then. She puts her breasts away.
"Hey, let me see him. Let me see. Oh my God."
The detective crawls out the window and looks around. He sees another building within jumping distance. He hurries across the roof and leaps to a small balcony of the neighboring building. He crosses the balcony and goes through a very dark room to an interior hallway high in the old building. Suddenly, A policeman appears climbing a staircase. The policeman grabs the detective and pulls him along the corridor. Almost! You almost got away! But how would he like to remember this? The policeman shoves the detective's head into a room where a small boy is hit in the back of the head with a rock. Or this! He shoves the detective into another room where a bird with a broken neck is doing backward somersaults. Or this! He shows the detective the next room. In it, he sees a stairway as if it's coming down from above. Slowly, someone is descending the stairs, but all he sees are the feet. Coming down, closer, frightfully close. Or this! He shows the detective the next room. In it, the detective can see the shape of a woman. He looks closer. He sees two breasts as screams are heard echoing horribly in the distance. Suddenly, there's a spark shooting out of the wall socket in the corridor. The detective notices, then looks up. The policeman is gone. Then above, the detective hears a loud screeching noise as the light is strained from the overhead bulb. The detective moves slowly to the end of the corridor and starts climbing some of the stairs. He climbs higher and higher. Each flight of the stairs looks the same. Finally, he stops at the rest. Just as he does, he hears something, a moaning distant wind. Then suddenly, some music. Reminds me of you. A door opens above and a beautiful girl appears. The detective cautiously goes to her.
Hello.
Hello.
Who are you?
I'm a detective. Who are you?
Don't you know?
No.
I'm Diana.
You are. You are beautiful.
Do you think so?
Yes.
We're all going to the club tonight.
Yes. What club is that?
It's called the Circle Club. I'm putting on my makeup.
Oh, yeah?
Do you want to come in?
Yes. Sure. If it's all right with you.
Come in.
She takes the detective inside. He sits in an easy chair while she sits at her makeup table and starts getting ready to go out. Suddenly, the wall begins to shake very quietly. It begins to strain. The light on Diana's makeup table strains and dims. The light explodes as two sections of the wall blow out. Electric wires bend into the room and begin to jump and flip like hissing snakes, shooting out electrical sparks. The room darkens to a haunting feeling. Diana rubs a long line of lipstick up to her face, her nose, eyes, forehead, and into her hair before she flips backwards out of her chair onto the floor next to the detective's chair. The detective is pushing a pin cushion into his neck and blood is forming in little dots. Both their eyes are wild. The detective strains and pushes a knitting needle into Diana's leg. Her eyes focus on, she reaches out for him. The electrical violence reaches a fever pitch, then begins to subside. The ceiling light glows a bit brighter. Diana and the detective slowly come out of their fits and find they are looking into each other's eyes. As she looks dreamily at the detective.
You put a knitting needle into my leg.
Yes.
But why?
So you wouldn't lose consciousness. If I hadn't, you would have died.
I felt it save me. May I touch your face?
Yes.
May I touch your lips?
Yes.
With my lips?
Yes. They kiss.
I want to be with you always.
And I want to always be with you.
It's a dream. Yes, is it?
It must be.
Why?
When I kissed you, I saw fire. We now see what he talks about, a wall of fire. I saw that 3 of my fingers were on fire. We see 3 burning fingers, and I saw 3 explosions of light in the sky, and streamers falling down. We see this. And I saw 3 people who couldn't walk. We see them.
You did.
Suddenly, a friendly large woman, the aunt, enters hurriedly.
Aren't you coming, Diana? Oh, my dear, you look a dreadful sight. Whatever happened? I would like you to meet my friend. He's a detective. He saved my life. Oh, Lord. Are you two all right? Thank heavens. Oh, he's a handsome one. Yes, he is. This is my aunt. Did anything happen in other parts of the house? No, dear. The lights dimmed. We all had a jump. Nothing more. Is that a knitting needle in your leg, darling? Yes, it is. It saved my life. Oh, it did?
My, thank heavens. Hurry along, we're late for the club. Your pretty face is quite a mess, honey. Really it is. The aunt leaves. Diana with her very messy face. She turns to the detective. Would you take me to the dance tonight? Yes, absolutely yes. Do you think it's safe? I have a feeling we can do anything as long as we're together. Outside, Bill is standing in some bushes, looking up at Diana's house. The detective and Diana walk arm in arm down the sidewalk along with Diana's uncles and aunts and friends. A group of at least 15 very dashingly and beautifully dressed people. They arrive at a striking entrance to the Circle Club. It is a gigantic white neon circle glowing against the black night sky. Underneath it is a smaller glowing circle, and passing through it, one enters the Circle Club. The detective and Diana look up at the big circle. The detective is struck by the power of the image and tries to figure something out inside his head. He shrugs off the thoughts and happily enters the club with all the others. Inside the nightclub, which is very elegant in a 30s sort of way, a maitre d' seats the large party at a big round table near the center of the vast room. The place is crowded with fancy people. The detective and Diana are so in love. I think we've discovered a pair of lovebirds, don't you? Someone says. I think they make a darling couple. It's a perfect match. Interior, Deborah's apartment at night. This is a cozy setting. Bob, Dan, Deborah, and Ronnie are all sitting happily together in Deborah's living room. Ronnie, you are such a love, and how hard you study on your homework. Ronnie's page, however, is blank except for tiny scribbles of the symbols he showed the detective in the hospital. We move into a CU of Ronnie. Interior, nightclub, deep in the city, night. I am wild about love.
Me too.
How can life be so dreamy?
I know.
Drinks are served, large bottles of champagne. All sorts of little hors d'oeuvres are brought out. The party is getting happier and happier. An old gentleman proposes a toast. To love. Everyone. To love. They drink. The detective asks Diana if she would like to dance. The music is by a large orchestra playing a 30s style waltz. Very beautiful. The detective and the girl hold each other tightly as they sway to the music. A large group of people enter the club. They are all smiling as they look around at all the other happy smiling people. A man in the crowd smiling. Gee, this is a happy place. As they dance, the detectives notice that the light coming from one of the table lamps is decreasing in intensity. He holds Diana tighter. He tries not to think about it, but it worries him. At the table, the old gentleman who gave the toast is reminiscing. A few people are half listening to him as they watch the dancing. The old gentleman smiling in his reverie. I had a girl like her once. I was in love. Her lips were red, like this one's are. Her eyes were bright. I wanted to touch her and kiss her all the time. My love was so intense. No one could ever love that way so strongly. The detective looks over to the bad lamp. It is now flickering and getting darker. He hears the light being sucked out of it. It goes out. The detective looks quickly around. All the other lights are still going. Back at the table, the talk of the old gentleman changes. However, in this world, love like that doesn't last. It withers like the vine. It vanishes like the snow. It dries up like the leaves. It changes. The detective notices another light flickering, and another. A low, ominous wind comes now, along with the beautiful music. The old gentleman is now getting a bit upset with his memory of love. There is some growing anger and tension at the table. The love almost rots. It becomes rancid, sour, foul-smelling.
It putrefies the atmosphere. It degenerates into loathing. I hated that girl. Let me tell you, she was a whore of the first order. A filthy whore. Unclean.
The detective sees 6 more small lights flickering. They screech as they go out. Others begin to notice. There's a growing uneasiness in the room. At the table, the old gentleman is enraged with his memory. He is almost foaming at the mouth with hatred and anger.
I despised everything she ever thought or said or did. She was like a plague, festering and bubbling, coughing up foul horror and sickness, the kind that makes a man plead to die, just to end the trial, just to be left alone, to be rid of everything, longing for a state of unconsciousness.
The detective is dancing very close with Diana. His eyes are closed. He opens them and moves to look into her eyes. They are in love, but there is trouble in this circle club. She sees him looking about, worrying. What is it? I don't know. Something's wrong here. He suddenly sees Bill entering. Oh no. Bill. I think something is definitely wrong. I think the trucks are coming in. Oh no. Light slowly starts to drain from the big light above the dance floor. There is a slow screeching, sucking sound with the decreasing volume. Now the kitchen door is flared. The cook stands trembling and screaming.
All my animals! Bleeding from the mouth! All my animals! Going wild! My pig!
Suddenly, a small screaming pig rushes into the club, zigzagging all around crazily, the cook screaming and running after it. Everyone in the club is now tense, standing, looking around, worried. The orchestra plays, but musicians are missing notes and not following the score. The detective and Diana cling to each other. The bleeding pig races past them. Some old woman.
Oh my! A pig is... Oh my! It's bleeding from the mouth! Look at the blood!
Out in the street, 2 giant trucks are coming toward the Circle Club. Each truck shooting electrical sparks high into the air. The sound is deafening. Inside the club, the pig races into another crowd. More screams and a loud gunshot.
I shot a pig! I shot a pig! Why did I do that?
The lights are all flickering now, giving the place a strange nervous feeling. Sucking and screeching sounds getting louder and more frequent. Musicians playing horribly, erratic, nervous. The cook rushes up to the man who shot his pig. My God, you shot my pig! He tries to kill the pig shooter with his bare hands. People hold him back. Suddenly, a tall man with a beard, a pipe, and a black and red checkered lumber jacket pushes his way through the crowd to the dead pig. With a booming voice, he speaks.
I can throw that pig.
Don't throw my pig.
It's dead. What do you care?
Don't throw it!
I can throw that pig farther than anyone can. By God, I know I can.
I'll bet you can't throw that pig clear across the room.
Watch me. Move back. Calling out very loudly. Watch out. I'm going to throw that pig over there.
People begin frantically clearing away from the line of flight. The cook holding his head between his hands.
Leave it alone. That was a damn good pig, too. Now look at him.
The lumberman grabs the pig by the hind legs and like a chain ball he starts twirling himself and the pig. Faster and faster. People screaming and moving back. The lumberman twirls faster. Everyone is watching him now. Bill moves closer to the detective. The detective has been watching the pig but has kept an eye on Bill too. Bill is smiling in an evil way. The detective holds Diana closer. Outside the big trucks around the corner, people are screaming, sparks shoot crazily. Some people burst into flames, others bounce or gyrate. Inside, the lumberman twirls violently with the pig one more revolution, then with tremendous force releases it. The pig flies wildly through the air, across the nightclub and crashes into the far wall, bounces back with a squeak onto the table, crushing it into the floor. The sound of the trucks are now heard inside the club. All begin to go wild.
I knew I could. I told you all.
Take these. Here it comes. He jabs a knitting needle into each of her legs, then he does the same to himself. He puts a pincushion into his collar and forces the pin into his skin. The big light screeches like hell, then glows all over the room. Other lights pulsate violently. A horse and 2 cows, all bleeding heavily from the mouth, come out of the kitchen. The horse whinnies mournfully. Horrible muffled sound of buzzing, hissing, humming electricity is heard. Wall sockets spurt electrical sparks. As the room gets darker, the people start to get confused. Absurdity runs rampant. People try to eat their hands or feet. They crawl on or under the tables. Their tongues get tied and they can't speak. Some more small table lamps begin to blow out. "I'll bet you I can spit," says one man. Out comes his tongue, but no spit. The lumberman's pipe starts spewing smoke in huge cloud. "Let's jump off a table," yells someone in a rage. The donut man appears on the stage. The detective is trying to turn himself in a circle while he's standing on his head. His girl, Diana, is in a fetal position, as if trying desperately to propel herself through water. Her tongue is cut and pressed against her cheek. People are running furiously for unknown destinations. The orchestra is totally confused and is playing very abstract sound arrangements. Some musicians even destroy their instruments in the process. The drummer is playing very complicated jazz timings, and the audience is beginning to shake and gyrate in robot-like movements. The music becomes more and more abstract, sounding like syncopated barnyard button factory. All the while it's getting darker and darker. Then the black coats enter. They begin to violently zap people while the donut man stands in front of the orchestra smiling and eating donuts. His eyes bug out with sadistic happiness. The black coats try to zap the detective and Diana, but they are clinging to each other, and it is at this point that they realize that their love is protecting them. They yell at the black coats. "You can't hurt us because we love each other so much." She's right.
But we can't separate you.
They grab Diana and pull her away from the detective. Black coat to the detective.
Can you say separate?
The detective watches in horror as they drag her away. She is screaming desperately. The detective hardly able to talk. "Come back." Their eyes watch each other until Diana disappears in the darkness. Sparks! All is death. Bodies barely move. Bill stands against the far wall staring at the detective. The orchestra is almost silent. Only the barest, most abstract arrangement now. Very low. Very strange. Suddenly in the darkness a man enters. The detective is so far gone he cannot see him clearly. The man walks silently through the bodies, but with his back to the detective. The man extends his arms towards the far wall. Bolts of dark electricity issue from his fingertips and shoot into the dead pig. Now a horrible thing. The dead pig comes to life and stands up like a human. Its hind legs growing longer, the pig stands in the darkness in front of the unknown man and along with very low strange music. The pig says, "Life is a donut!" Then issues a horrifying laugh. The man and the pig both laugh then. The unknown man moves his hand up and down. The pig speaks again.
Slowly, I am a man who is afraid of dogs.
The donut man laughs. Bill laughs. The detective watches in horror, his mind trying, straining to cling to consciousness. Outside, the trucks have just passed. The streets are quiet. The Circle Club sign is barely lit, but it is visible. Terry runs down the street toward the Circle Club. Interior, high school. Main city, daytime. Perspective of Ronnie. He is sitting in a classroom in high school. The room is very dirty and drab. Soot clouds go by and smokestacks blow out smoke and everything is dingy. The blackboard is filthy with coal dust and the white chalk looks dark gray. The teacher is an old man with wild hair and glasses. With a long pointer in his hand, he is pointing to a detailed drawing of a dog with stars and swirling lines around it, as if it may be some constellation in space.
Can anyone show us the equation for the time involved here?
No one raises his hand. Ronnie is sitting in a desk by the wall. His acne has gotten even worse, and together with his red hair, he is quite a sight. He is still wearing his chest apparatus and still needs a plug-in every 15 minutes. The little warning sound is going, and he is just rising to go with his plug to the wall when the teacher spots him.
All right, Ronnie, step to the blackboard and write out the equation.
Ronnie doesn't move.
Step to the board and write out the equation.
Ronnie goes to the board and stands there. Finally, the teacher goes and puts a piece of chalk in his hand. Ronnie puts his nose right next to the blackboard and very carefully draws a very small symbol like the one from the hospital. Not again, says a student. Even before Ronnie finishes the second symbol, the teacher is asking for another student. Can anyone write the proper equation? Jane? All right. Jane is a very beautiful girl who is stacked. She is dressed in a tight white sweater and a black tight skirt. She has blonde beehived hair. She goes to the board and begins to write out her answers. Meanwhile, Ronnie is still working on his symbols. Some guys and the teachers are looking at Jane's beautiful body. Suddenly, the bell rings, and Ronnie's head flies back violently, and his mouth opens wide. School is over for the day. All the students leave the room, bumping into Ronnie, who is going to his desk to get his books. On the way out, he and the teacher stare at each other. Ronnie is in a sort of trance, running low on electricity. School's out for the day, Ronnie. Ronnie leaves the room. The hall is practically empty. The clock says 3:30. Ronnie grabs hold of his plug, and as he walks down the hall, he looks from side to side for an outlet. There are none in the hall. He comes to some steps leading down to the basement, and he follows them down, looking for an outlet. Finding no outlets on the steps, he pushes the basement doors open and enters a large room where a rock and roll band is setting up to rehearse. They are getting equipment together and tuning up as Ronnie enters. The musicians are factory greaser types, dressed in black suits. The band is not big time, but they do have managers. The main manager is a fat man who is mean and powerful. His name is Mr. Barco, and his associate is Mr. Green. Ronnie goes to the opposite end of the room and plugs in, minding his own business. There are a few other kids in the room waiting to hear the band play. Mr. Barco speaking to the band. You guys are late setting up for rehearsals again. I'm sick of this. We're not going to win any record deal tomorrow night if you guys don't get to work. I'll pull my money out quick. And I'll break a few arms too. We don't want to manage a bunch of fucking losers. Mr. Green under his breath to Mr. Barco. We may not want to, but I think we already are. Hey, Johnny, let's go! Sorry, Mr. Barco, but we got a lot of equipment to set up. We're almost ready. Johnny plugs in some big amplifiers and microphones. All the equipment has a very foreign look to it. It is equipment that is very strange looking. The microphones are very large. The amps and speakers and equipment are all jet black and very strangely designed, like a cross between 1920s electrical and a gloss black Porsche Speedster. The band is ready, and they warm up by playing about 15 seconds of very cool music. Then Johnny stops and takes a long cord, and finding no other place to plug it in, goes over to where Ronnie is sitting to use his outlet. He and Ronnie look at each other as Johnny plugs in his cord right above Ronnie's. Johnny is carrying his electric guitar. In order to test the new change, he turns his guitar on and begins to play. Suddenly, out of Ronnie's mouth comes a very strange, loud musical sound. The sound scares Johnny. Ronnie then lets out another strange sound, a musical scream, and one of the band speakers begins to vibrate and it blows. Ronnie begins to make some new strange sounds he has never made before, and he begins to twitch in a rhythm, and for a short while, something begins to happen. But Ronnie pulls his cord out and stops. The entire band is staring at Ronnie. Outside, Dan and Bob pull up to the high school and wait for Ronnie. Back inside, Johnny is still staring in disbelief at Ronnie. What happened? Let's get to work! Leave that kid alone. What's going on here?
Wait a minute. We could use this kid. I've never seen or heard anything like him. We could use this kid, Mr. Barco.
Mr. Barco thinking, then looking at Mr. Green, eyebrows going up, then turning to Ronnie, squinting at him. What's your name? Ronnie is silent. Hey kid, what's your name? They walk towards him. Ronnie remains silent. Johnny, take him over and see what he can do. Come here, kid. Johnny takes Ronnie over to the rest of the band up on the stage and puts him in front of a microphone. When everyone is set, he puts Ronnie in. Instantly, he screams, but he and the music cause the scream to be beautiful, and then he twitches and moves in rhythm with the drummer. Ronnie begins to make strange sounds, which work together with the music. Some more students hurry into the room, drawn by the music. The managers hurry into the room drawn by the music. The managers notice this. The kids are staring in disbelief at Ronnie. Johnny sings a few lines, and Ronnie mimics him in a very strangely cool way. Ronnie starts to vibrate, and he turns around, and all the instruments change together, going way up, then down. Ronnie looks great in front of the microphone, and this rock and roll is totally crazy and heavy, and the students who are witnessing it are spellbound. The band is really going. The song ends. The people break into applause. Ronnie is gripping the microphone. As the applause dies down, someone yells out, "What's your name?" The others begin to ask. As the applause is almost gone, there is a short space of silence coming up into which Ronnie inserts,
Ronnie Rocket!
People begin to say his name out loud as they burst into applause again. Ronnie tries to pull his plug, but Johnny has to help him. When Ronnie finally gets unplugged, he starts walking backwards in a circle and finally falls down and sort of collapses. There are a few screams by some girls and a lot of murmurings. Mr. Barco and Mr. Green hold the kids back as they try to get up close to Ronnie to see if he is alright. Just then, Dan and Bob enter and look around. They are about to turn and go when they hear someone mention Ronnie Rocket. They go into the room. Finally, they see him and rush to him.
What happened, Ronnie? What happened to him?
He was playing some music with us, and I guess it got him tired or something.
Are you the kid's father or what? Yeah, come on, Bob, let's get him home.
Dan picks up Ronnie and carries him out of the room. Mr. Barco to the band.
You guys keep rehearsing, we'll be right back.
He winks at them. Get that kid. Mr. Barco and Mr. Green catch up to Dan, Bob, and Ronnie by their car. The doctors, Dan and Bob, stare at Mr. Barco and Mr. Green. We're very interested in your boy there. Why? What did he do? What is it? Mr. Barco, chewing a cigar. Hey, wait a minute. He didn't do anything except make great music. Your kid's got something. We think he could be big. I mean, your kid's got something. We want to make a deal. Together we can make more money than you ever dreamed of. Are you his father? Dan looking quickly at Bob. Yeah, Bob's my partner. What's the deal? Ronnie is feeling much better, and during Mr. Barco's talk, he has wandered out onto the ground in front of the school. As the deal is being made, Ronnie wanders around. He looks up to a window in the school and sees a boy and a girl. They are talking. Then she pushes him. He pushes her. Then we see Mr. Barco and Mr. Green from a distance, talking with Dan and Bob. Then Ronnie's acne-covered face looking up at the window. The boy and the girl come together in a long, tender kiss. Ronnie watches them. Then Ronnie turns and sees Mr. Barco and Mr. Green shaking hands with Dan and Bob. Then from a distance, we see Ronnie standing alone, turning in a small circle. Later at Deborah's apartment, Ronnie is sitting at the dinner table with Deborah, Dan, and Bob, but he is at the other end by himself while the others talk. Yes, and he starts tomorrow night. There's some contest. We should have enough money to get all new equipment and everything.
Was anything wrong with my money?
No, Deborah. What if they find out about you and Ronnie? You must stop and think. I'll give you more money if this is what you need. I never knew you needed more money. They won't find out. They'll never know. And it's so much money, Deborah. We could almost build our own hospital or become famous someday. We could do surgery every day. Bob, we could do surgery every single day. My God. Maybe this will mean you'll go away from me. No. Maybe we'll be so famous you will not need me any longer. That could happen. No, Deborah. Maybe you will not need my caresses. Someone else's, maybe? No, not ever. Deborah breaks down crying. Bob and Dan go to her. They get on their knees and caress her. Bob kisses her neck, and Dan holds her hand and kisses up her arm passionately. Ronnie sits at the other end of the table watching. We'll never leave you, Deborah. Deborah, please stop crying. She calms down. Bob and Dan remain close to her. You see how much I care so much for you two? I'm crying my heart out. She clutches her chest. I'm crying for you to be famous surgeons. Two of the most gifted doctors. You should be famous. I'm crying because this is the way I believe. that I don't want to have things change so much. I want things the way they are forever. I'm so happy with you, my Bobby and Dan. My little Ronnie. I'm just so happy. Things will still be happy. Promise me. I promise. I promise too. Dan, I want you to take my blouse off. Bob goes and takes Ronnie to the living room. Dan removes Deborah's blouse. Thank you, Dan. And now my shoes. And remember how I believe. The night is long. And the way I believe is go slowly. It is very dark. And time is so big. She begins to rub her breasts in front of Bob while Dan removes her stockings. Ronnie is in the living room. He is staring off into the ceiling. His eyes are following some unseen object around and around. Friday night, outside the factories blow howling smoke. At the school dance, the room is crowded. Deborah, Dan, and Bob are in the audience. Strange-looking teenagers all around. The high school principal is there, and Ronnie's teacher. Even the stern little lady receptionist. Behind the stage, the band is almost ready to go. Mr. Barco is off stage chewing a cigar. Johnny is setting Ronnie up by their microphone. Johnny to Ronnie. You okay? No answer. You're okay. Just stand there, and then when the curtain up here, he points. When it opens, I'll plug you in and we'll go. Just do what you do. We go! That's right, kid. We'll really go. Johnny looks to the other members of the band to see if they're ready. The nod that they are. Johnny signals Mr. Barco. Mr. Barco goes to the master of ceremonies. Okay, they're ready now. And remember, introduce them as Ronnie Rocket. All right, fine, Mr. Barco. From behind the curtain, Ronnie hears the master of ceremonies. Ladies and gentlemen, the last band to perform tonight in the contest is now ready. Ladies and gentlemen, Ronnie Rocket! As the curtains open, there is applause, but it soon stops. Ronnie isn't on the stage, and the rest of the band stands embarrassed in the uncomfortable silence. The curtains close. Backstage, Mr. Barco is furious. He sees Bob walking Ronnie by the hand toward him in the stage. Can I help it if I had to go to the bathroom? Hurry up and get him back on that stage! Ronnie now high steps across the stage. The master of ceremonies can be heard reintroducing Ronnie Rocket! Johnny turns up all the power he can. There is a loud hissing sound coming from all the speakers. The curtain opens just as Ronnie high steps into place in front of the microphone. The curtains open very slowly. Ronnie locks himself in front of the microphone, hands gripping it and knees bent, ready to go. Johnny plugs Ronnie in. He begins to vibrate like crazy. He screams out and the music begins. The music is pounding and powerful. The audience is loving it. Ronnie falls to one knee, and Dan and Bob look at each other with worry in their eyes. Suddenly, sparks come from Ronnie's mouth and the music gets wilder. Ronnie shakes violently. Ronnie starts to gag and the lights go way low. He shakes in rhythm with the drummer. When Johnny sings, Ronnie tries to mimic him. His eyes bug out. The kids are watching Ronnie, dumbfounded. The ones that started to dance have stopped and are watching. Ronnie gags, more sparks, and then whines. The guitars start to whine. The organ whines. Ronnie falls to the floor, gagging and jerking. Dan holds Bob back from helping him because he wants to see if Ronnie can make it through alone. Ronnie starts mimicking Johnny's echo, reverberating rock and roll voice, then starts to scream out. This causes some electrical disturbance. Electricity seems to go through the air between Ronnie and the instruments. The sounds jump accordingly. Finally, sounds are at a fever pitch, and Johnny decides that he should end the song. Ronnie is gagging pretty badly and is on the floor. Johnny pulls Ronnie's plug. Ronnie yelling, Ronnie Rocket! Just after the music stops and the lights come up, the applause is thunderous and Ronnie passes out. The curtain closes. Johnny and Fred, the bass player, pick Ronnie up and carry him backstage. Dan and Bob and Deborah are very upset. Dan to Bob. Go get your bag and meet me backstage. Deborah, come with me. I'll be fast. Dan and Deborah run backstage where things are in somewhat of a turmoil. Dan spots Mr. Green. Where's Ronnie? He's in there. Mr. Green points to a door marked private down a hallway. Dan and Deborah hurry to the door and both of them begin knocking. No one answers, but they hear moans and sounds within. The door is locked. Open up! Open up! Go get Mr. Green and Mr. Barco to open this door. All right. She goes hurrying off back down the hall. Bob comes running in the other way, and Deborah points toward Dan. Bob hurries down to join Dan in front of the locked door. Bob's shoulders are going way up and down as he breathes heavily. Oh, what's wrong? The door's locked. Ronnie's in there. Deborah went for... Just then the door opens. It's a nurse answering the door. Yes? I'm Ronnie's father. Where is he? He and Bob go through the door. Oh, wait a minute. You wait a minute. In the next room, they see a doctor with Ronnie. The doctor is fooling around with Ronnie's appliances, and Ronnie is jumping and sparking, and the doctor is getting electrical shocks every few seconds and yelling out. Dan and Bob move the nurse aside and rush toward Ronnie. The doctor looks up and suddenly, Bob and Dan freeze just as they were about to enter the room. They recognize the doctor, and he recognizes them. Pink and Platinum? What are you guys doing here? The nurse hurrying forward. It's Ronnie's father. The doctor gasps as he realizes why Ronnie is the way he is. He looks aghast at Ronnie, then up to Bob and Dan. Then his astonishment turns into anger. Ronnie's father, my big ass! Wait till Mr. Barco hears about this! Bob and Dan look at each other. You take care of the nurse. Bob begins chasing the nurse and Dan leaps on the doctor, hitting him hard. Meanwhile, Deborah has found Mr. Barco talking with the Master of Ceremonies. Please, Mr. Barco, they won't open the door. We have to see our Ronnie. The Master of Ceremonies. He's with my doctor, don't worry. Please, we must see him now. Meanwhile, Deborah has found Mr. Barco talking with the Master of Ceremonies. Please, Mr. Barco, they won't open the door. We have to see our Ronnie. He's with my doctor, don't worry. Please, we must be with him now. All right. Talking to the Master of Ceremonies. I'll be right back. If anything breaks in the meantime, I'll be in the office. Let me know. Right, Mr. Barco. Together, Deborah and Mr. Barco go off to the room. When they open the door and enter, Deborah screams. The door is taped up to a filing cabinet just inside the door. Her eyes are wild. Her mouth is taped shut. Bob is administering drugs, etc. to Ronnie on the cot in the next room. Dan has the doctor held in his lap with his belt running through the doctor's mouth, causing the doctor's head to bend back at a very uncomfortable angle. The doctor begins to make gurgling sounds when he sees Mr. Barco. The doctor's eyes are also wild. Deborah covers her mouth with both her hands. What the hell is this? Dan, still pulling the belt. Mr. Barco, I know we signed the papers and all that, but we're afraid that this is just too hard on Ronnie, and we're gonna have to take him back out of our agreement. What was that? I'm afraid we're gonna have to. Just then the door opens and Mr. Green is coming in with the Master of Ceremonies and the band. All are smiling. The Master of Ceremonies. You won! Congratulations! Everyone is yelling. Then they see the situation, then everyone is quiet. Mr. Barco. Thanks, Gary. Look, could you leave us alone for a while to discuss this thing? Yeah, thanks, Gary. The Master of Ceremony, named Gary. Yeah, sure, Mr. Barco, sure. Green, you stay. Everyone else, out! Everyone but Mr. Green leaves, and the door is shut. The nurse and doctor are moaning crazily. See, Ronnie, you just won us the recording deal. You cannot pull out now. This will mean thousands, and I mean thousands of dollars for you. We don't want to discuss it. He said it right. No more discussions. Mr. Green? Mr. Green pulls out a large pistol and points it in Bob and Dan's direction. Let the doctor loose, Green. Undo the nurse. We keep the doctor. We'll keep the doctor. What's this, Green? Damn it, you guys. Mr. Green walks over and places his pistol right at Dan's head. Suddenly, Dan releases the doctor. Oh, all right then. Mr. Barco, stop it! Shut up, everybody, to the doctor. Now what is it? I know these two from the Institute. They were thrown out from experimenting with terminal cases. They're a couple of perverts. They probably stole this, Ronnie, and built him like this. They're clumsy butchers and are wanted by the authorities. No! No! Mr. Barco, smiling as if heaven itself fell into his lap. So the deal is off, is it? We're hurting your poor little son? Now you guys listen to me for a while. If you want to stay out of trouble, and I'm sure you do, you'll continue along just the way we discussed. If you're good, you'll get the money we talked about. You will look after Ronnie and keep him in perfect health. If there's any trouble, we'll blow the big whistle. You understand me? Bob and Dan in unison. We understand. They both give the doctor a dirty look. Good. Well, then all is well again. I have a very good feeling things will be going our way too soon. Do you feel it too? Dan and Bob realize they're caught. Green! Bring everyone in. Mr. Green opens the door, and the band and the master of ceremonies come in. Bob helps Ronnie into a sitting position. Ronnie's eyes are glazed over. We start rehearsals tomorrow at the record company. Hall number 7. He's gonna make it. We were just discussing. We all have a good feeling about the whole thing. Fred, the bass player, realizes that the nurse is still tied up. He removes the tape from her mouth. A cooing, moaning sigh escapes through her sore but full and beautiful lips. The doctor sees Fred do this. All eyes go to the doctor as he yells, "Don't you touch her!" And he rushes to his nurse. Rehearsal hall. Dan and Bob and Deborah look at each other, worried, because Ronnie has been talking to himself in the microphone, saying frantic little half-sentences and word fragments. Johnny is trying to work on a song and find out new sounds Ronnie can make or cause the band to make. Ronnie. Into the microphone.
Night, home, circle, stop, head, circle, Diana.
Johnny. You guys try different things this time. We're getting somewhere. I want to use this guy. Use him to our best advantage. Isn't that right, Mr. Barco? Get to work, Johnny. Ronnie, now whining very high.
Ronnie, rock it out!
All right, let's go. Oh! The entire band is now wearing black rubber gloves and boots in order to protect. The entire band is now wearing black rubber gloves and boots in order to protect themselves from the electricity. Johnny plugs Ronnie in. Ronnie's eyes bug out and he starts to shimmy across the stage. The drummer, Al, is going with Ronnie. Fred and Johnny start experimenting. They move levers and walk closer to Ronnie, stand at different angles to him, etc. Their sounds start going up or down, or louder or softer. Sometimes speakers begin to screech, and Ronnie himself is twirling, crawling, jumping, gagging, mimicking Johnny's voice, or lying out flat on the floor twitching. Electricity is flying all around. After the rehearsal, Dan and Bob attend to Ronnie. A close-up of Ronnie reveals bad eyes and a dopey look. Also a small amount of blood in the ears. They are very concerned for his health. Bob is checking out Ronnie's electrical device because he is now waking wide-eyed, then nodding off to sleep in the next moment.
Ronnie!
Ronnie nods off. Bob gives him a shot and they plug him in. Mr. Barco comes in the room. How is he? Not good. We're hurting him bad. Fix him. I don't want to keep hearing discouraging news. If you need any medicine or materials or whatever, I'll get them. But keep that kid working. If he's hurting any more than this, it's over. Take care, my friends. Quit threatening me. I've been very cordial and nice. Don't let's get nasty. You'll never win that game with me. Just get set to enjoy your fortune your little rocket is going to bring in. Bob stands up, knees bent some. You know, Barco, I don't like you. He yells, "How would you like a great big fat bloody nose?" Mr. Barco snaps his finger and Mr. Green comes in. Mr. Barco points to Bob. Mr. Green starts towards Bob. Oh yeah? Bob hauls off and slugs out toward Mr. Green. Mr. Green catches his hand and crunches it, the bones breaking, making a sickening sound. Bob falls down moaning, holding his hand. Dan flies towards Mr. Green and shoots a punch into his stomach. It doesn't do much. Mr. Green then decks him. Dan bleeds from the mouth. Ronnie, Dan, and Bob are all hurting and moaning. Mr. Barco, do you want to stop getting money? Do you want to go to prison? Watch out, next time Mr. Green won't go so easy. But there better not be a next time. See you at the recording studio at 9 tonight. Green and Barco leave. Bob's hand is pretty bad, and Dan is not feeling too good either. They stay on the floor. Ronnie is watching them. Bob, whispering, things aren't working out too well. At the recording studio, Bob's hand is wrapped in gauze, and Dan is black and blue on the upper cheek. Ronnie is in front of the microphone, going up and down on his tiptoes, speaking small bits of nonsense in a nervous way. Ronnie, very quickly,
It hurt too much. Too much hurt. No, you go all of it. A, B, C, D, F, G. No, magic egg. Break circle.
Diane! The band is ready to go and is waiting. Pacing around, Ronnie continues to babble. Up in the control booth, an engineer is looking at Ronnie. He pushes a button and his voice booms out.
Is that what that kid does?
No.
Then shut that kid up for a while, will you?
Hey, shut him up for a while. Bob and Dan go out and stand with Ronnie by the microphone. Just keep him quiet for a while. Dan and Bob hold Ronnie and check over his device and look into his eyes. Ronnie is shaking. It's okay, Ronnie. It's okay. He and Bob are each holding a hand.
Bad electricity. Rumors.
Bob and Dan hear this and look at each other. Bob, I think there could be a different kind of electricity. Do you think that there could be a different kind of electricity? I don't think so, but maybe.
Isn't that what I just said?
All right, when you're ready to go. Let's go, Johnny. Okay. Everyone moves into position, and Dan, Bob, and Mr. Barco go and stand off to the side to watch. The engineer starts rolling tape. Johnny plugs in Ronnie, and he screams a short scream, shoots some lightning, and falls to the ground. A loud drum beat. Ronnie jerks and says, "No!" Another beat. Then the bass and the guitar begin to play, and Ronnie begins to vibrate on the floor. He gags out some sparks and then whines from real low to real high, and gets up only to drop again. Quiet. A heavy beat. Ronnie howls a weird electrical sound, and his eyes strain. In the control booth, two engineers scramble for a smoking box, which is shooting sparks. The bass begins again. Ronnie jitters to his feet, gets a shock from the microphone, makes some series of noises into the microphone, and the organ, guitar, and bass and drums start to really go. Johnny's echo begins to sing, and Ronnie begins to mimic. He's really moving to the beat. They've got him in a great little black suit, and it looks good with his pompadour red hair wig. After a long whine at the end, Johnny pulls the plug. Ronnie collapses and crawls around on the floor. Upstairs, the engineers have a fire extinguisher out, and they're spraying a whole smoking area of equipment. The room is cloudy with smoke, and there is an ominous electrical hum going, signaling some sort of malfunction. The engineer is upset.
That's just great. The kid blew out all my equipment.
The engineer starts coughing because of all the smoke. And now the engineer over the PA.
I think we got it. Stand by for playback.
A close-up of a huge speaker and a horn as the song is played back. A shiny black spinning record lap dissolves out of the speaker shot, and a neon flashes Ronnie Rocket. Several rock and roll shots follow as the song continues. Load. A tiny factory, kids bop in front of an old floor radio. A strange greaser dances in an alleyway. Then several beehive-stacked girls snapping their fingers to the beat. And then a nice long dissolve.
Thank you all very much for listening. Tune in for the final part 3 coming soon. This has been an ever-expanding Theater of the Mind production, narrated by Joshua J. Singh. Please like, share, and subscribe.